Hey guys, what's up? It's munclesonkey and welcome to the new series which is finally being announced, and I am planning on making this the most epic series that has ever been done on this channel. So I have already made a bit of progress, but before I go into showing you guys what clips I have stored up, I have to talk about what the series is, and it's going to be the boss Drop-A-Thon. So the basic objective is to get a drop from every boss that I decide to do. It doesn't matter what drop it is, however I do have a couple rules. The first rule is the boss must be at least 2 mil per hour or more. The reason I said this is I really don't want to be doing bosses like King Black Dragon because I know the drops are really rare and it's not very good money. So the boss must be at least 2 mil per hour or more on average money making. Also, the drop from the boss must be at least 2 mil or more, provided that that boss does drop something that's worth 2 mil or more. There are a couple bosses in the game that just don't have any drops that are that valuable, and in that case it will be I have to get their most valuable drop from that boss. So I did do one boss today, and we'll go into the clips of that in just a second. But just so you know, this series is going to be in a playlist. If you're interested in watching the rest of it when the episodes come out, I will have a link on the screen and in the description to the playlist, so feel free to check it out. And also, before we get started into the clips, I do have a little image that I created of a really good way to keep track of all the bosses that are done and all the bosses that are still yet to do. So in the background here is a small graphic that I created with all the bosses that I am planning to do, except for a couple. You may have noticed that I left out Virago as well as Rise of the Six. I am fully planning on doing these, but I have plans for those, and they will be done separately after all of these bosses have been completed. I even put in the fight kiln, which is technically a boss because Har Ekin at the end of the fight kiln is a boss that you must fight, and you can make 2 mil per hour or more doing the fight kiln, so I will have to do one fight kiln. Other than that, all of these bosses I have to kill them and get a drop that is worth 2 mil or more, with the exception of QBD, as she does not drop anything that is worth 2 mil or more. So it should be pretty fun. I will have to do a lot of God Wars dungeon camping. As well, I wanted to ask you guys for the Tormented Demons, even though Claws technically will sell for 2 mil or more, I might want to just camp those until I get a Dragon Limb drop, because I've never had one personally. I'd really like to get one. Also, for the Ascension bosses, I will be making an Ascension crossbow, and for the Glaciers, I will be making a full Armadillo battle staff. But everything else, I just have to get a nice drop, and we'll call it good. So I did do one boss in the series already, and we'll get into what that is now. So the boss I chose to kill today was in fact the Queen Black Dragon. The main reason behind this was I had a QBD Slayer task, so I decided to record a few things in the background. Obviously I wouldn't be showing these clips unless I got something, so you'll see exactly what it was and what I'm going to classify as my drop from QBD at the end of these clips. But I decided to record a few kills just so you can see, I guess, some of the loot from the Queen Black Dragon that I got today. I did get a couple of massive troll drops, and you will see those in a second as well. I had one that just had me shaking my head and just thinking, wow, I cannot believe that this is even on the drop table, because that's just terrible. But I must say QBD is probably my favorite Slayer task, if not one of my favorite. I also really like Armadillo tasks and stuff like that as well. I have yet to try an Ascension task. Maybe when I go for my Ascension crossbow, I might actually wait until I have a task of Ascension creatures, and then I'll kill the Ascension bosses then. But anyway, I was kind of holding off on a few of these bosses, such as Virago and Rise of the Six, just because I've never done them before. There's the first of the troll drops. I got a shield left half and a rune 2H sword, but luckily that one at least isn't a worthless troll drop. Some of them are a lot worse. But other than that, there's a nice royal frame. Every single royal piece is like 500k, and I have like 10 of each of them in my bank because I have been doing a lot of Queen Black Dragon. But again, I was thinking about not doing Virago and Rise of the Six just because they're quite tough and it's hard to find teams for them, and I've never done them before personally. But I decided to make this a truly epic series, you gotta include all of the epic bosses. So I will be doing those bosses. I'm just going to be doing everything else first as kind of a build up to the grand finale, and then we'll have the really epic finale of me killing Rise of the Six. And here is the epic troll drop at the end, a water talisman and 100 silver ore. That's just a little bit embarrassing. And of course, getting into the actual reason I came to QBD, the drop itself. The Draconic Visage, the most valuable item she drops, so I'm going to count that as Queen Black Dragon completed. So here's the sheet with our progress so far. As I complete more bosses, more of them will be colored in, and I'll add the names for them underneath the bosses when they are done. I must say this sheet took me forever to figure out how to make because I'm kind of a noob when it comes to graphic editing, and yeah, I kind of fail at it. But anyway, I will keep a tab. The tab is just going to be the actual drop itself. I'm not going to keep a tab of all like the little drops, or if an item is crashing, I will sell it and keep a GP value for how much the item was. For example, if I got a next item that was worth 20 mil, I would sell it and keep 20 mil, and then at the end of each video, I just put that 20 mil GP into the tab, because I don't want to be holding on to stuff that's going to drop like, I don't know, 10 mil or so. It could happen in terms of the Ascension crossbows and Dragors. Those could drop very, very fast, very quickly. But anyway, time to look at the tab, which only includes one item so far, but hopefully that will change soon. Alright, and here is our incredibly epic tab so far. It is 1.2 mil. So, yeah, I have one Visage. Hopefully by next episode I will at least get one boss done, maybe a couple. And I gotta say, if I do a boss such as God Wars Dungeon and I get a drop that's not worth quite as much, for example, if I went to Zamorak and got boots and they're like 1 mil, I will put that in the tab as well, but I will still have to keep killing Zamorak until I get a drop that's worth more. And that way it might just help build up the tab a little bit more. But anyway, I'm not sure which boss to kill next, so feel free to leave me any suggestions in the description, and if you guys really want to see a certain boss next, I'll definitely do that one next. Just keep in mind that Virago and Rise of the Six are last, so don't suggest those. But anyway, that's about all for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to subscribe and look at the playlist later on when future episodes are out, so we can continue this series and it could be a great success. Thank you for watching, and farewell.